20th, 2017, and I'm here at Point Grondine Park, which is part of Point Grondine Reserve. I'm here to do my first solo backpacking trip. Actually, it's my first solo camping trip of any kind. Although I arrived at the parking lot and met thousands of mosquito friends, so we'll see how that goes. I'm about to head out for about 5K hike to my first campsite, and then on day 2 I'll be hiking 10K to the second campsite, and on the third day I'll hike 5K back out to this spot. So we'll see how it goes. Gravel road, which I thought was the start, and it wasn't. So after it was taking a while to get to the water crossing, I was thinking something was wrong. And eventually I started to hear the road, and I ended up back at my car. So I went 3.5K for no reason. I did then find the start of the trail, and I don't know how I missed it. I set off that way. I came across a couple of people who were being swarmed by mosquitoes like I was, and they said it didn't get any better, which I'm not surprised. Later on I came across a water crossing, which I knew was going to be there. They provided some canoes. There were 3 canoes, so I had to take a canoe, life jacket, and paddle myself like 20 meters across this water body. However, the wind was crazy, and paddling was tough. I was thrown against the rocks. When I got over to where I thought I was supposed to be going, they had said, make sure you tie up the canoe on the other side. There was nowhere to tie up the canoe. It was a sheer, like a rock face to get up. So I knew there was no way I was getting the canoe out there. So then I moved a little bit downstream, which was quite a bit better because it was out of the wind, and then I was able to just pull the boat up on shore, and I just flipped it over and left it there with the paddle and the life jacket. And then I started hiking again, and it was another, I think almost 5K, or I'm not sure, I can't remember at this point, but it was 10K by the time I got to my campsite, which was the second one, and it actually didn't have a campsite sign, but there were some ribbons in the trees, and I wondered if it might be mine. And when I got here and saw the beautiful platform here for the tent, I knew I was right. Unfortunately, I couldn't set up my tent there. It was blowing away, literally, and there'd be nothing to anchor it to, so I had to put it up in the woods. It should be fine there. And so I put up the tent, I put up a bare line, or put up a branch in the tree, and then I put up a tarp in case it rains tomorrow. And then I've been getting ready for dinner here, I started my fire and tried out my kid's stove for the first time. So it actually was great. I boiled water within 10 minutes, a liter of water. So I've got my soup rehydrating here. It's almost done. And I've got some homemade crackers and some hot chocolate. So I'm about to enjoy that. The bugs are horrendous today. I had like swarms of them around my head. Eventually I gave up and I had to hike with my bug jacket on because they were just like going in my ears, in my mouth, nose. It was just awful. So it's much better. And down here it's quite windy, so they're not as bad. Yeah, they're pretty miserable. Anyway, that's it for now. For food for the 3 days that I'll be camping. So this afternoon I had a trail mix as I got into camp, and then I had a butternut squash soup with some homemade crackers for dinner and some hot chocolate. Later I have a little bit of a dehydrated fruit mix with some chocolate, and then tomorrow morning I have some oatmeal, some bananas, which I will rehydrate with water. And for morning snack I have a trail mix, some pretzels and chocolate and nuts. And then for lunch I have a hummus that will be dehydrated, that will be rehydrated, sorry, with some vegetables and some crackers. And then in the afternoon I have some dehydrated fruit that I did, and some yogurt. I think the red is the yogurt, I believe. And then for dinner I have a curried cashew chicken. So I've got the sauce in one bag to rehydrate, chicken in another, cashews, some little mini pitas, and then for a bedtime snack tomorrow again I have some fruit and some chocolate. And then I have Monday's food. On Monday, again I have a different cereal. I don't remember what this is. It looks like couscous and dried fruit. And then in the morning I've got the yogurt and applesauce, which I will probably just eat like that. I probably won't rehydrate it. For lunch I have the homemade crackers again with some vegetables, and then it's an eggplant dip, which I will have to rehydrate. And then in the afternoon I got a pizza gorp, some pepperette, cheese, and some different nuts and things in there. And then for dinner I have I don't have dinner because I'll be home for dinner. In the afternoon I have some hummus and some mini pitas, and then some dehydrated apples, which I can have as a snack. And then I did bring an extra meal just in case I'm delayed. I brought an extra thing of oatmeal and some dried fruit. And then for drinks I have hot chocolate, Gatorade for breakfast, and tea also for breakfast. So that's what I brought, and I'm guessing I only go home with my extra meal. We'll see. It was really, really crazy today. It was so buggy. I finally had to put on the bug net while I was hiking because I had like 100 attacking my head at once, my face, they were in my ears. I was swallowing them. It was just gross. So the wind, thankfully, has seemed to scare them off this point here. So it's the morning of day 2. I survived the night. Actually, it wasn't too bad, other than some people were zooming around the lake in a boat and they were playing music pretty loudly. So I had hoped to go to sleep early. That didn't happen. But anyway, I eventually fell asleep. The loons were quite loud in the night, but I was toasty warm. I had a hot water bottle, and it was fine. I did find out this morning that one of my zippers in the tent was open a little bit, and that's why I kept getting mosquitoes coming in and flying around my face. But all in all, it was a good night. I'm thinking for today, I just got an updated weather forecast through my inReach, and 80% chance of rain pretty much between now and when I'm supposed to leave tomorrow. So I'm going to hike to my next campsite and decide at that point, do I want to stay the night or do I want to keep going, hike another 5K out and go home today. So I'll see how things go and decide how the bugs, based on how the bugs are and the rain, once I get there. o'clock this morning, I decided to come out today. I had some challenges getting out. Somehow, I don't know what happened, but I missed the turn for the boats and I could not find the canoe. And then I realized where I was when I reached campsite 1, which is on the other side of the loop. So I was starting to return to where I started at campsite 2, which is not good. So I tried to get out the map, and as you can see, the mosquitoes are ridiculous. They were swarming me, and oh my god, they were in my mouth, nose, ears. I was trying to figure out where I was. It was raining, the map was getting soaked. I couldn't scroll on my phone is paired with my inReach, but it wouldn't scroll. It had me in the Bahamas. Obviously, I wasn't in the Bahamas. I'd like to be there right now. Anyway, so I finally figured out where I was based on campsite 1. I looked at the islands that I could see, and I figured out I just had to go back and hug the left, and I eventually come to the canoe. Oof, in my ear. And that's what I did. Found the canoe. Was very relieved. And from there, I think it was about a 3K hike back. I came back actually along like a maintenance road. It's portage to cut it down slightly, but I don't know what I hiked today. I think it's probably 20K. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta stop this because there's still a mosquito in my ear.